Welcome back to Rising Phoenix Oracle. I'm T the Oracle. Thank you for tuning in for another celebrity reading. So today we're going to focus on Eboni K Williams and Rihanna, the singer Rihanna. All right, so we'll go ahead and start with Eboni K Williams. If you are not familiar with her, she kind of made the headlines, I think, sometime last year when I think Rihanna was on her show, I believe. I know Eboni K Williams is a lawyer by trade, and I think she may have her own show on some network. I'm not quite sure, but I do remember the clips from last year when she had Rihanna on her show, and I guess they were talking about, men and, dating within your bracket, or, just the quality of men, especially for a woman who's educated and who makes a certain amount of money. And then Rihanna tried to ask her, would you date a bus driver? And she was like, yeah, if he owned the company. And basically with so many words, I think this is how I feel. Rihanna tried to shame her, and that's the problem. You need to give a brother a chance and all this other kind of stuff. So it kind of sparked a debate across the boards with men and women, some women agreeing with that, some women not agreeing with it, men agreeing with it. So it was just kind of crazy. However, the last day or so, she announced that she is with child, that she's pregnant with a baby girl. So congratulations to her. Now, that set off a windstorm, a sandstorm, a storm, whatever you want to call it. Because now you have the men saying, oh, another single mama. And you have some people saying, well, she needed a man for, just all this mess. So let's kind of dive into that. What's going on with Eboni K Williams? How is she feeling about this? And I think she actually utilized in vitro, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's the way she conceived. So, it was totally her choice, so how is she feeling about this? Because I see a lot of people trying to shame her about being a single mother and all this stuff, I mean, to me, she is more than capable financially. I do understand the dynamics and the importance of having a two-parent household. However, if you have a dream of, raising a child and there's no one there, do you put that on hold, or do you take it into your own hands and do what you're supposed to do, or what's needed to be able to achieve that dream? So how is she feeling about her pregnancy and how people are taking it? Let's see what we have here. Sacral chakra, third eye in the reverse, memories of love, emotional loss, prosperity begins, and let's see, temptation in the reverse. Let's pull one more card for good measure. Wisdom. All right, this is an interesting little spread here. So let's see what we have. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the first card that was pulled. When we have the sacral chakra, and then we have the third eye chakra in reverse. This tells me in the beginning, she may have been a little bit conflicted on what she should do. I do believe Eboni K Williams may be 40 or 41 or something like that. And I do know, at that age, medically, in the medical profession, doctors would call that an older pregnancy or geriatric pregnancy, or, before you hit 41, that's considered, a 40, I believe. That's a good age to have children. But after that, it's more high risk, so to speak, according to doctors and medical staff, right? So she's hit that part of 40 or 41. So she's older with pregnancy. Now, I think that, you know, she has gotten into a place in her life where she feels like she's secure, she's stable, mentally, definitely financially, emotionally, and she doesn't want this window to pass her by. So you had her physical body, or you could say your biological clock ticking, like, okay, it's now or never, like this is the time. I feel like she kind of planned it out as where it's like, okay, if things didn't turn out this way, you know, this is my plan B. If I am not married, if I'm not in a long-term relationship, if you know, this doesn't work out, this is what I'm doing. Regardless of if I'm in a relationship, if I have a man or not, I'm still going to follow my dreams and become a mother. And you have the sacral chakra that's representative of that area, which is located with the reproductive organs and producing new life and bringing forth new things, fertility and different things like this. So this definitely was in her mind. And this represents the physicality of where she was. Like her body was like, okay, this is the time. However, you see this third eye in the reverse. She's like, okay, but I know I can and I can plan it out, but should I do it? So it was a little bit of a conflict. And that could be, you know, a number of things. That could be because of, you know, what people say. It could be because of, you know, just kind of being logical, trying to plan things out, make sure you do what's best for the child. And 9 times out of 10, most people believe that, you know, a 2-parent household is ideal to raise a child. However, everything is not perfect in this world and things don't turn out accordingly. So, you know, she kind of weighed her options and was like, why not? You know, you have single people who actually adopt children. If they're financially stable, they have a good home, they're emotionally and mentally well, they allow them to adopt children. So, you know, for her, she's like, why not be able to, you know, bring forth and produce life from my own womb? Even if I don't have a personal relationship. So I feel like she kind of planned it out. And like by this time or this age, if I'm not here, if I have a man or not, I'm still going to do this. And she kind of weighed her options and kind of thought about things. But ultimately, this is what she really wanted to do. Then you have the Memories of Love card. And for me, I'm not quite sure her background, but this represents a couple different things. To me, this represents a village. I don't know why this is coming up because I do see the picture. These are like candles that you can place in the water that can float, floating candles or whatever. But this, to me, this represents family. This represents a village. So I feel like for her, number one, her upbringing or her support system was very important in her life to get her to where she is at this point and to help mold her to become the woman that she is. Her life experience as growing up as a child in her household, I believe she felt that it was a pretty good experience, and she would love to experience that with the child and bring joy and just love and support to another being that she brings into this world. And she do believes that family is important, despite what people think about, oh, you bringing it, you're gonna be a single mother and you don't have a man or something like that. She believes heavily in the family dynamic, the family system. However, if her life didn't necessarily move in that direction, she's like, that doesn't mean I'm broken. You know what I mean? Like, I have a lot of love to give. Financially, I can give. I have love. I have time now. She's going to be a very dedicated parent, a very dedicated mother. This also reminds me, I think she has a good support system as well around her for people to be able to, like, you know how they say it takes a village? I think she has that support system, and whether she has male figures that will be able to be in the child's life, you know, like uncles or great uncles or cousins or even close male friends that are good people, you know what I mean? And that's what that reminds me of. When we take a look at this card here, when I see the emotional loss card, I think of 2 things. Number one, like I said before, she doesn't want to miss out on this opportunity because unfortunately, you know, they do state as women get older, you know, they lessen their chances of either getting pregnant or having a healthy pregnancy or a pregnancy to term without complications, right? Or even in the delivery, you may experience complications. So for her, she's like, okay, this is something that I want. I don't want to get to a point where You know, I get to an age where like I should have done it. I could have done it 10 years ago, and when she's 50, and like I could have done it. You know what I mean? Even though there are some women that are getting pregnant nowadays at 50 and 51, it's not the norm. You understand? So there's exceptions to everything, but is it the norm? And so she understands that fact about, you know, physicality and the biological clock, and just, you know, what women can and can't do at a certain age, and what makes it more difficult. Just being logical. Also, I'm not sure if she's went through, it feels like she may have been pregnant before as well and probably lost it. So I don't know if she went through an IVF cycle or something and it didn't stick, but it also feels like some loss here. Like she was pregnant before, but it wasn't viable, or just, you know, the pregnancy didn't go through. It wasn't successful. Maybe they did like implantation or something and it just didn't go through. And this is what this is feeling like to me. And also, like I said, she just wants to be able to enjoy this time and not kind of miss out on that. Okay. Now you have this part right here, which is the Prosperity Begins card. Now she's aware that a lot of people would be like, hey, you know, since you're going to be a single parent, it's going to be a little bit more hard on you. This may affect you, you know, financially. It may affect your career. It might affect your income. Trust me, with these first two cards, she weighed her options, and she already knew, okay, when I get to this age and this point, whether I have a man or not, a husband or not, I'm going through this. She is a strategic person. She's a planner. She's planned this out all the way down to probably the amount of money that she needs to have. You know how they put out those articles about how much it costs to raise a child throughout the years and different things like that. She has crunched those numbers. She understands on so many levels that, you know, financially you have to be set. I feel like she really has put that into consideration. She has money in savings. She really line things up to be able to be somewhat stress-free and to understand what she needs to do to be able to financially provide for herself and that child, where they don't have to need or lack for anything. I really do feel like she's either saved for this, or she has like investments or different things where she doesn't have to work hard or work as hard. She's always a career woman, but I do see her settling down and kind of like being a little bit more on the reserve side. And when I say reserve side, I'm just saying kind of like she can't necessarily quote unquote be a stay-at-home mother, but at the same time kind of slowing things down and taking different routes to be able to have more time with her child and just enjoy the years of the child growing up. Now you have this card, which is the Temptation card, which is in the reverse. She has had offers or people to come to her, or even past relationships where a guy's like, hey, let's make a baby. And she's like, not with you. I don't know why Sure 7 is coming on the mind, but she's like, no, Dusty. And Dusty can refer to a man that's kind of like, you know, definitely financially not secure, but also in his mindset and his mentality. She's like, I'm not procreating with that. I'm not doing that. You know what I mean? So I feel as if the people who she's dated, or even people that she's been in a relationship with, they have talked about it and they have offered to, you know, come together to bear a child. She's like, she's very picky about who she wants to procreate with and who comes into her life and who's in the child's life. She's very picky. So I think something for her, she likes to be in control, so she was able to select and pick who was, you know, the person to be able to provide that other part, that seed for this child to come into fruition. Yeah. And then you have this Wisdom card right here. Now this Wisdom card, if you see, this guy looks like he's holding a book, looks like the sun is shining very brightly. This book is actually illuminated as well. You have a mother and father back here with a house, or a man and woman. You have a dog right here. This solidifies what I said about support system. I feel like she has a good support system at home and people behind her that are just more than willing to support her and, you know, lift her up and help her during this time. And when I say help her, it's more of like a support. Like, you've done, quote unquote, what you're supposed to do. You know, you were a good child, you were upstanding, you went to school, you got your degree, you got your law degree, you got your, you know, you passed the bar, you're a practicing lawyer. You have so many different accomplishments in this one part of your life that you want to accomplish as well. And there are people, like I said before, in this first part of the spread, I said, especially with this, I said, this reminds me of a village of people behind her. And she has a set of people home, whether it's her parents or whatever, that's behind her. And they're rooting for her. So regardless of what social media says, regardless of what the men say, regardless of what some women may say, she's in a good space for herself. And this is something that she planned for and that she definitely wanted to do. So yeah, that's the space that she's in at this point. So congratulations to her. So at the end of the day, if what everybody else think, that's basically what she's saying. Like, this is something I'm doing for me. I don't care. And she would rather not, you know, like I said, procreate with someone just for the sake of doing that, but she'd rather go another route because she's very particular of the genealogy, the ancestry, the DNA. Like, it's very, she understands that. And that's another thing about who you choose to procreate with and the things or the baggage or the issues that comes along with it in regards to that donor or that person that you have a baby with. It comes with a whole host of things, ancestral line as well. We can talk about generational curses and issues that people have in their family. She's very well aware of that. Now let's move on to Miss Rihanna. Miss Rihanna. Now, I just saw a video. It looks like she's pregnant. I said she was pregnant a couple months ago. There was rumors about it. I said she was pregnant, but she definitely looks pregnant. It's definitely up to her to, you know, announce it or not. You know, that's her prerogative. If she wants to or not, she probably will later on or in some kind of spectacular way. Who knows? But I think she's one of the ones that always said she wanted to have children too, just like Beyonce. And she's at a good age, you know. She's in between, I think, what is she, about 34, 35 or something like that. So what's going on, Rihanna? Is she pregnant? How's she feeling? She pregnant and how's she feeling? Union in a reverse. Fearless. What does it say? Contact in reverse. Right order in the reverse. Music. What? Storm. Okay, this is very interesting. Number one, Rihanna says she don't give a damn. I can't do like a Barbados or Caribbean accent, but she's like, I do not, I could care less. Because people will be happy for you in one setting, and then the next setting, they condemning you. And it's like, what is going on? Now, number one thing here, what's going on? People was happy for her with the first. Then they was like, okay, she had a second. Now the kid has a playmate. Now you get into the third. People like, okay, now she having too many children. How you telling somebody that they having too many children? It's going to be some people that's going to say, okay, she having too many children now. Like, okay, was she going to have like a whole football field? Like a whole, you know what I mean? Like, people are going to start kind of like turning a little bit. Just, you know, speaking and saying like, okay now. And a lot of people have something to say about her not necessarily being married. From what we know, and she has not announced, a lot of people still believe that she's been in a long-term relationship with A$AP Rocky. However, they have not, quote-unquote, gotten married on paper. We still don't know that for sure, but in the public's eyes, and they have not announced anything, they are not officially married, right? However, I mean, they've been together for a while. They have children. They are bonded. They just need a piece of paper, or, you know, if they don't already have it. But you know how society is and people are, especially when it comes to those things. And it's based off religion and morality and different things like that. So people believe that they should be married, especially she going on her third child. They're going to be like, okay, come on now, girl. And she's like, I don't give a damn. You hear me? fearless. I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless. And she's always kind of been that type of person. So she's kind of still in that energy. Like, I don't care what nobody thinks. This is me. I've always said I wanted children. I'm gonna have my children. I'm gonna have them back to back. I'm gonna have a full house. If it was up to her, she could have a full house. She want all her kids to grow up and play together. She's in that mode. She's in that nesting mode. You have contact in the reverse. Very selective in who she allows within her circle, especially with her 𝐃𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴P Rocky and the children. She's very big on family, but kind of like immediate family though. Like, and also I feel like those that are close to her, that's been down with her, like close friends and different things like that, that's been around her, that's like family. She's cool with that. Like, she at this point, she just wants close people around her who she loves. That's her tribe, who she feels connected with, to be able to be in the circle and experience that which is her family at this point now. So very selective. Okay. Again, and for everybody who feel like this is not in the right order, she do not care. She does not care. I'm going to do what I want to do the way I want to do it, and it works out for me. So mind your own business and do what works for you. This right here. Now, people been saying, she pregnant again? Well, you know, and it ain't no music. Let me tell you something. Rihanna could care less about that, okay? The thing is, she made her money and got out, and she expounded or spreaded her portfolio in a direction that people should do. They shouldn't put all their eggs in one basket. You know, sometimes people are just singers forever and ever and ever, and that's what they do. And then they find themselves always having to go on tour or going overseas or doing whatever it is, instead of expanding outward into new opportunities. And so for her, you know, the Savage Fenty, the Fenty was something that really catapulted her, because I do believe she's a billionaire now. And that was a good move. And then you have, I think, is it the makeup or the, I think it's like makeup or something like that. And now she just expanded into hair. So it's more of all the beauty areas that she's hitting. So music is kind of like the last thing on her mind. Music was, it got her, it was a stepping stone. It helped her to get there. And of course she enjoyed that, you know, the time that it is, but she understands there's a time and place for everything, and everything doesn't last forever. Will she make music again? She probably will. She may come out with another album, you know, or she may decide to put out a song for a soundtrack or different things like that. Like she did for, what was that movie? There was a soundtrack. It was a real slow song. Everybody was waiting for her to come out with music, and she put out that slow song, and I think it was a soundtrack for a movie. I forgot what the song was called and what movie it was for. Y'all can put that in the comments. But I can't remember. But it'll be something like that. If she does come out with an album, it'll just be for the fun of it. But again, you know, if she doesn't do that, it may be for a soundtrack or something. But she's kind of really over it. And then you have this card. Do I feel as if her and 𝐃𝐸𝐴𝐴𝐴P Rocky will be together forever? No. That's what this card is telling me. They're not going to be together forever. They will eventually go their separate ways, but it's not going to be like messy or anything like that. They're always going to be close. They're always going to be friends, but will they be kind of like in a relationship like they, you know, we speculate that they are now, or that they're showing that they're in a relationship? I don't think so. Eventually they will break up. Okay. All right. So if you guys have any other questions, or if you want me to do a part 2 on this, or expound, or if you have any ideas or any other celebrities or any type of stories that are in the media, go ahead and leave that in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to complete a reading for that. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.